Well, that's the bunks sprayed and installed permanently, and the back bunk is now fitted, and I'm going to have the back of this bunk straight up because I want enough of a gap here just to put a mobile phone for the charging points. And there's the switch gear for the water heater, which I don't really like, and that's the control panel for the diesel heater, and then switch gear for whatever I connect those up to. I think this one on the left is going to be for the lights up here, you can see, and up there. I'm just running the van just to charge the battery up because I keep operating the step every time I come in and out, so I don't want the battery to go flat. And so that's containing, it's not very big. The main bunks are obviously here, and they're going to be wider and have a sloping back. The bunk at the top there is really just to hide all of the systems behind, and the back of this bunk is going to have all of the electronics screwed to it as well. And so there's 2 speaker grills that I shall have to order, and I'll make up a couple of trims and get some perspex for those porthole windows. And basically that's the, I can pan back far enough. That's the back of the van. You can see that above there because that's bunks above. So it's beginning to take shape now. Connected the diesel heater ducting up as well. So the next job now is, if I've just got enough time, to take these panels, they're just loose at the moment, I'll just take them out, sand them and get a spray, a first coat of finish on them, and then I can spray them again in the morning and get on with these side bunks in some way. Put the bunks in here because I'm going to be routing pipes and cables through there, so I don't want to close that off. So I'm going to put the shower in next while I'm waiting, and if we put the shower tray in, yeah, that's not too bad. I've drawn a line here, which is, this is where the back seat leg goes, and plumbing down from there, this line is where the back of the seats come, so that's, I'm going to have to put my bulkhead back from there. So you can see, if I put a piece of plywood on that line, so you can see it. So that's the total space we've got for the shower, and so that's not enough for 2 different cubicles, like a toilet and a shower. And plus, where the drain goes out, that beam there goes around the underneath, so that is right in the way. So that means I'm going to have to move it past that to roughly there. So basically that's how big the cubicle is going to be. Well, if that's where the shower tray is going, I should move the bulkhead to there, and then you'll get a bit of space at the back of the seats. So that's the size of the shower cubicle anyway. And I've taken the head lining down here because this bulkhead, that's the shower tray where it's going. You can see that structural beam going down there also extends underneath. It's a main chassis member, so I can't put the shower drain there. So I've had to move it out, and that leaves a wee bit of a gap between there So there'll be a bit of plywood in to make all the water go into the shower tray, and there's 2 inches of insulation going in here, and then a piece of ply over that going right up, and it'll have a shelf coming out from about there down to the plywood. And a scribed piece of wood going in here in this gap between the windows and the ply. That'll be coming down there with a bit of trim on it, and the same on the other side. But all of this at the top is basically, I've described it into there to when I come along here and the headlining goes back on again, I can glue blocks to it for the headlining to sit against. So the next thing is to, while I've got this bit of headlining down, is to completely fill that space with insulation. That's very important if it's going to be nice and warm and dry. So I can just move this to one side and get behind there, and I can get right up to the back and start spraying right up from the back there and forward. And then when that goes back up on its little poppers here, goes back up into the fitting and the roof, and that will hold that up. And I'll put a few props on because the phone does expand 3 or 4 times, and I don't want it to push the headlining down again. And I've got these little foam blocks that go up against the roof to stop it going up any further, so I can put some props up. But before I do that, I need to just tape some plastic over the back of these light fittings there and there, because I don't want the foam to go in there. And so I'll need to go and get some masking tape.